Hi, welcome to my channel. This is me, Nelly, and in today's video we will be recapping the year, as I kind of took this whole year off due to my pregnancy, and we're gonna be talking about that while we wrap our Christmas gifts. Okay, so while I get my first gift ready, I'm gonna do these easy ones. They're more like baggy treats. These are for my sister, my niece, and my sister-in-law. And I got these at Target. Not sponsored, but everything, literally everything that I have here is from Target. This year I did take the whole year off because my husband and I were surprised of getting pregnant. Around this time last year, we found out we were pregnant with our baby boy. And during the whole pregnancy, I was so nervous because of my psoriasis and my health, and my experience from my first birth. But thank God, with this pregnancy, everything was perfect. And maybe not perfect because right away, they got me as gestational diabetes. I think I was like 3 months. Eventually, as I went through the whole process of my 9 months, I was always controlled. I never had to take insulin or anything like that. Thank God. I managed my diet very well, and there was no need for me to take insulin because that would have been traumatizing for me, I feel. But I know it helps out a lot for those of you who do have to deal with that. But that is just something new that I experienced this pregnancy around. Going through gestational diabetes and having to pick myself, write it down, going to going to the gestational diabetes clinic or to the specialist, other than already going to your OBGYN. So that was exhausting sometimes, you know, especially when you don't have to, or when you find out that you're coming out pretty normal, like during the whole time, during the whole pregnancy. But no, I do, you know, realize that all of that is very essential, like for women who really do suffer through all of that, or sometimes you already have it like genetically. That's something new that happened with this pregnancy. I'm already done with my first gifts. I'm telling you, they're just really cute, little bag ideas, especially if you have a big family like mine where, you know, like you don't know what to get a lot of people, because you also don't want to break your account during this, your bank account during this holiday. I get it. During my whole pregnancy and the gestational diabetes that I had, everything was good. All of my heart, everything was great. We had a little scare with baby because I had gestational diabetes. They also sent me to a cardiac specialist for the baby. They checked it. I was so scared. Like, sometimes doctors scare you. And I was so worried. I was like, oh my goodness, this baby, is he gonna make it? Because they were telling me that he can come out stillborn. He can come out, like, there can be so many complications. He can come out really early because like premature. So that was all during the first couple of months. And it was very scary because, for those of you who don't know, I did have a miscarriage before I had my first daughter. And it was around this time, like 6 years ago. So 7 years ago. So whenever people tell you like it might be this, it might be that, I was really scared, and I, you know, followed doctor's orders so that way, you know, my baby can live. And then everything came out perfect, thank God for that. And shortly after that, we told my family that we were pregnant, and then literally 2 weeks after, we had our gender reveal, and that's when we found out we had a little boy. And I was just so grateful because, you know, I already have my little girl, and now I already have my little boy, and me and Diego are ready to enjoy that part of our life, just enjoying our little kids. Victoria actually just lost her tooth last night. Shout out to her. dental hygienist, which is my best friend, Shirley. I messaged her right away. I'm like, is it ready for it to come out? And she's like, yes, it's okay. It came out, and that was, you know, a big moment for us. Our little girl, not so little anymore, just lost her first tooth, and we're experiencing it with our baby boy. It just feels so wholesome. I am so happy, and it's just perfect timing. Everything is perfect timing. Another big thing that I was very scared of during this pregnancy was my postpartum, because with Victoria, I'm telling you experience, I had suffered with postpartum depression, and I fell into it for a long time, and it's just very scary and very dark, and that was one of my biggest fears, of falling back into that. About it, I prayed a lot about it. So far, I've only had the baby blues, which are very normal. That is like a few weeks after you have your baby. It's all because of hormone imbalancement. You know, your body's still trying to recover. Shout out to all the mamas that go through that. But yeah, I was very scared of that, and thank God my baby's about to be 4 months on December 24th, Christmas Eve. And like I said, I haven't dealt with postpartum depression, only the baby blues. I feel like now, like, our family is so whole. I am so happy. Like, I healed a lot when I started my YouTube channel in 2021. 2022, I had to take off due to my birth. I really enjoyed my birth, my pregnancy and my birth, my baby showers. Oh, it was just so beautiful. And I am extremely grateful for my close friends and my family that were very close with me during this whole time, and were always checking up on me. My mom, oh my gosh, my mom and my sister, as soon as baby was born, they would come over and help me clean the house, cook for me, sometimes even take care of the baby so I can sleep for a little bit. But to be honest with you, I couldn't sleep. Like, I was like a zombie. Like, I just couldn't sleep. I was so happy, but then I was so tired. So I'm just so grateful. And for me, it's just more like there's nothing I can do to pay them back for that. But it just teaches me for whenever my daughter is gonna have a baby, or my son has a baby, you know, in their future, that's one way I will always remember my mom. And hopefully she's still around, but if she's not and she's in heaven, that's one way I will always remember her here on earth. Like, oh my goodness, like, I remember my mom would always take care of me. Let me go do this. Now let me go do this for my daughter. Like, it's a gift that can keep on going from generation to generation. Adjustment from Victoria, that's something a lot of you guys want to know. In the beginning, I believe it was like a couple days in, and we had a little incident where she was acting out a little bit, and you know, I just sat down with her. When I sat down with her and we talked to her, and we just explained to her, you know, like, hey, it's okay. I know things are different. Look, mommy is different too. Like, we need to, you know, it's a new way of living right now, and we're all just trying to get used to it. And she's like, I know, I just don't know how I feel right now. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm happy that I have a brother, but I just feel different. And, you know, it was just the adjustment at the end of the day is what I was, you know, getting from her. And one day, like probably later that day, I had to breastfeed. And breastfeeding, you know, it's tricky. It can hurt if, you know, if it's your first time, especially. Thank God this time around at the hospital, I did ask for a lactation nurse. If your hospital has one of those, please, I 100% recommend you asking for a lactation nurse, which this nurse goes to your room, checks your chest. They're just trying to see what they're working with, basically, you know. They checked me, they were like, you should be fine. They brought the baby. They taught me different positions of how to breastfeed him. They were there making sure he latched on, and we made sure that he opened his mouth perfectly, where to insert and aim at with your, you know, nipple to the mouth. So that way it can latch perfect. Like, it was just so educational and hands-on. Like, right then and there, she was with you. And I was just very thankful that this time around I did have somebody to help me, because with Victoria, it was so painful. And it was one of the most painful things ever. And with baby Diego, it wasn't painful. Long story short, it always happens to me, like, what was I going with that? Anyways, long story short, there was one situation where the baby didn't latch well, and it was hurting me. But you can't just like get him out, because then you hurt yourself even more, right? So I told Victoria, I'm like, you see, Victoria? Victoria was in the room. I'm like, you see, Victoria? I am also adjusting to this. Like, this doesn't feel well. And you know, I didn't have to do this before, and now I have to learn again how to do it. Like, so I also made it very visible for her that we're all dealing with this whole adjustment with the new baby, you know, the crying, like, which if you do have babies, or if you plan to have babies, I do suggest to wait a little bit. And I don't mean like a lot, but you know, just wait a little bit. Make sure your first child, like, you know, you have that moment with them, and make sure that they're capable of understanding that when you do tell them, like, I can't right now, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like toddler age areas, it's also very difficult because they don't understand, like, mommy can't give me my time right now. But with Victoria, thank God, like, I'm happy that I was able to wait. But I know there's people that make it work with like back-to-back babies, but it is hard. It's hard. Even with me, like the age gap between Victoria and the baby, like, it is very difficult sometimes. But yeah, ever since then, she's been fine. It was literally just that moment that I do remember that she was like, I feel different. But it's very hard, like, trying to give them that time and take them out, like, to even the mall, or like to we have a jumping center here where we live by. Like, it's hard to try to like get out of your like bubble and take them out like that, especially when the baby's like newborn. So I thank, you know, my mother-in-law and her uncle that were able to do that for her and take her out, and also just help me, like, where I have my baby and I don't have to worry about her. Like, you know, Diego helped out a lot. Like, he's been like the best guy, the best man ever, and the best husband ever, and the even more like awesome like dad. Like, he's very hands-on with them. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in again. Thanks for wrapping with me all of my Christmas gifts. Let me come a little bit more this way. Oh, so you can get the tree. Yes, thank you for joining, for listening. And I do want to just mention that no matter how you're celebrating today, just remember that it is a moment to give as well as to receive. You know, we're all different, and there's givers and there's receivers. I love to give my attention. I love to give my time. I love to give my love, my happiness, my conversations with my friends and my family. So that's what I'm a giver. Like, that's what I mean by giving. Spreading the joy, spreading the message of Christ, you know, like, this is why we are celebrating this is why I do celebrate Christmas. And yeah, others are receivers. Maybe they've, you know, grieved so much this year, they have lost a lot, that it's a moment where they actually need the love, and they need to receive that love, and they need to receive that happiness and the joy. That's what I mean by giving and receiving, not just gifts as in materialistic things, but true meaning of gifts that as humans we can give to each other. And we have adopted 10 kids, I believe, from this organization called Angel Tree. We used to always do it as a part of our nuclear church, and now we're doing it as our own, like as a family. We've adopted 10 kids. We've asked for donations, sponsors, you know, just friends, co-workers. If they want to sponsor a child, buy them a gift. And we go and deliver them. And I want Victoria to see that it's not just about receiving gifts, it's also about giving a gift to that kid that their parent is not around during the holidays. That's something new we're doing this year. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see, you know, the faces of these kids receiving a gift from their loved one, from their parent who is not able to be there physically with them this year during the holidays. That is just something Dave and I are able to do now as adults, and you know, this is a time for people to feel cozy around and love each other and share that with the whole world. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. It was a blessing ending the year with this video. I think the only other video I posted this year was literally our gender reveal, like our pregnancy announcement, which was we were pregnant and we're having a boy. That was my only video on YouTube this year, and it actually did pretty good, I think. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It was our only video this year that I uploaded, and this one. So next year there will be more content, and I am praying and hoping that I have that consistency. Shout out to everybody who messages me, or even when you guys see me in person and tell me, hey, I miss seeing those videos, when are you gonna upload a new one? Shout out to you guys. You guys know who you are. My beautiful niece Sophia and my best friend's hubby Edgar. I told you I was gonna say hi. But yeah, thank you guys for, you know, motivating me back to like getting back into this. I was thinking about it like, oh, I need to go back on YouTube, but then you guys telling me that at that timing when I was thinking of it was just more like reassuring. Like, so thank you guys for that. And I'm here, I'm back. And yeah, baby Dick was still asleep. Maybe he'll come out in the next video. Blessings. Hope you have a great Merry Christmas and happy holidays for whatever other holiday you celebrate. Remember to leave a little comment below on how you celebrate, how you're going to celebrate this holiday around, and that occasion you guys are celebrating. Blessings.